G'day guys, James back again with my season review. I've done St Kilda, moving on to 17th on the ladder now, which is the Melbourne Football Club. Now, Melbourne. I don't know what to think of Melbourne. I tend to feel sorry for the Melbourne Football Club. It's just the way their attitude, it just doesn't seem amazing, but I'll go into that. I'll start straight away with the highlight. And it's, again, one of the obvious ones, but Nathan Jones. He's the midfielder, he's the veteran, he's the bloke that puts his hand up every week and is the only one, well, there's a couple of others that can say it, but he's one of the only ones that can say, I tried my hardest, and his attitude is amazing, his loyalty to the club is amazing. He could have gone on to bigger and greater things. He could make a starting list of any of the 18 clubs. Yet he's stuck around at Melbourne and he's trying to bring that team along as much as he can. But it's just not working at this phase, and I'll move into that in a minute. My low light, round 21 against GWS. They kicked 3 goals 16 to score 34 points against Greater Western Sydney. And Greater Western Sydney is a young club. They're a new club, and they can 98 to 34. They can do that to Melbourne, one of the oldest clubs in the league. I think Melbourne have a better list than GWS does, but it's just the attitude problems that Melbourne have. They just don't seem to want to put their head over the footy. They've got a good midfield. They've got an okay backline, and their forward line seems okay on paper. But you put them out in the field together, and they just don't want to play. It's sad, actually. My Christmas bonus. Now, this kid, he's a kid. I'll call him a kid. He's younger than me. Dom Tyson, he came into Melbourne from Greater Western Sydney. He played 13 games prior to joining Melbourne, and he comes in second in the best and fairest behind Nathan Jones. Now, if that isn't something for Melbourne to learn from, Dom Tyson's come in from playing next to no games, and one, I would have given it to him, but again, he's only played 3 games this season, and I really like this kid. It's Viv Mitchie. Now, he's struggled tremendously with injuries. He's played hardly any games of footy, but every time he steps out into that field, he looks like he belongs. Now, but Dom Tyson will get it by a mile, coming in second in the best and fairest. He gets the Christmas bonus, and I give him a good bonus for that. Chopping block. Now, this is one of the players that I was talking about. Doesn't seem like he wants to be there, and I reckon a lot of people think the same way, and they treat him the same way. Jack Watts. Why is he still at Melbourne? Why is he still playing football? That's what we need to ask ourselves. He goes out on the park and does his stuff every day, half-asses it, as it seems. He may not be, but that's what it looks like to the exterior, and no wonder a lot of people dislike the way he plays. But it's just doesn't seem to want to be there. And now, if you get him into a club, you can use him as trade, as in, he probably won't fetch a lot of money. But you give Jack Watts away, he might want to play better footy, but he doesn't want to play better footy at Melbourne. That's how it seems. That's how his own thought process is going into a game. That's his own thing. It just seems like he just walks out on the park, plays game of footy, gets 13 touches or whatever, and packs up his bags and goes home. That's just not how you play footy. Now, what they need next season, they need an injury-less season. It's not that their list is bad from reading it on paper. Like, just naming 2, Viv Mitchie and Jesse Hogan. Viv Mitchie's an up-and-coming outside mid, and Jesse Hogan's a power forward, yet they can't get a gig because they just keep getting injured. It's probably nothing to do with the club, it's probably nothing to do with anything like that. But that's what they need, because their list doesn't look bad on paper. They've got the forwards, they've got the mids, may need a couple in the back line, but it's just the attitude and the injuries that are killing them. Next year, if they are all fit and healthy, and they play to their potential, and they do have potential, I'm going to say around 6 wins. And that's at a stretch, but I can't see them moving up the ladder. I can see them sitting at 17th. I reckon they're better than St Kilda, and they're probably better than a couple of the other clubs down there, but with the attitude at the moment, I can see 5 wins, 6 wins at a stretch, but staying around the 17th position on the ladder. So, that's my end of season review for the Melbourne Football Club. Grim times have passed. Paul Roos is doing a good job with the crew, though, I reckon, and he's doing a big reshuffle this season. We can see it happening. So, fingers crossed for Melbourne, and let's hope you do a little better next season. So, I'm James. Stay tuned for more end of season reviews for other clubs, and see you next time.